All right, hi everyone. So today I want to talk about something that I have a little bit of personal experience with, but also something that I see in a lot of people, and that is the anxious avoidant attachment loop. And you're like, the what? Uh, so, do you ever wonder why maybe you are not, why your relationships don't work out, why you may be in this kind of stuck in this loop? And it might be because of your attachment style. So, people with anxious attachment crave closeness and fear being abandoned. So, maybe your caregiver, when you were growing up, you never really knew what to expect from them. So, you always try to like please them and you always try to, but you were always kind of anxious about, well, what's going to happen? Like, I don't know. And so, maybe you even thought, well, this is my fault that they are not there for me, right? Sometimes, and sometimes they were there for you. So it was kind of created this anxiety in you, right? But people with avoidant attachment, so they grew up where the caregivers were just not emotionally available, right? So, and they just said, well, forget this, I'm out, right? So they value independence as a result, and they often pull away when relationships get emotionally intense. So you see how that works, right? So one is really craving it, and the other is just pulling away when the craving becomes too much. So, but both styles are kind of survival strategies. They're based on how safe, on how responsive or unpredictable connection felt in childhood. So, in a relationship, the anxious partner reaches out for closeness, but the avoidant withdraws to protect their space. And that push pull dynamic is painful, but it's also familiar. And that familiarity often gets mistaken for love. So, to the anxious partner, the avoidant seems confident, but to the avoidant partner, the anxious partner seems really emotional but overwhelming, right? So, that cycle literally hijacks your nervous system. So, dopamine spikes during the chase and cortisol rises with the distance, right? So, it's intermittent reinforcement. So, it's kind of the same brain pattern that you get as gambling addiction, right? You're not really hooked on the person, you're hooked on the unpredictability, right? Uh, so, so the anxious partner basically thinks, well, if I love you enough, then you'll stay, and the avoidant thinks, well, if you stop needing so much, maybe I'll feel safe. But both are really stuck in fear. Healing begins when you stop chasing intensity and start recognizing what calm, steady love feels like. So ask yourself, am I confusing anxiety with attraction? And what would safety feel like in my body? You're not broken, you're patterned. And with awareness, you can choose differently. All right, that's it for now. That was a lot, but I hope that helps you. Take care.